Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So we have about a month left until the October-November exams begin. So the best way to make use of this time is to create a plan, and not just any plan, but an efficient one, meaning we achieve the most with the least amount of effort. So that way we can make time for ourselves as well as leave more than enough time to prepare for these upcoming exams. So a subscriber of mine asked about 2 months ago if I could prepare an exam study schedule tailored for her, which is honestly a great idea, and I've already sent it to her a while back and decided to share it with you guys too. And since your time is valuable, you can click the link down in the description box to download the schedule onto your computer. That way you don't need to create one from scratch, and of course you're free to change it up as you please. And anyways, let's get into the schedule and how I decided to organize it and distribute it. How I decided to organize and distribute my subby's workload. So the first thing I did was ask her to list the subjects that she's going to be examined on from, the ones that she's most comfortable with to the ones that she's the least comfortable with, and the ones that basically that need more of her time and attention. So you can look here that English doesn't need a lot of time for her, but economics on the other hand really does. And based on this, I was able to create a study week plan. So I didn't want her to do the same thing every week, so I decided to break it down to week A and week B and let those alternate every other week. So on week A's, Sundays are the same for week A and B, which is just mentally prepare for a great week. And then on Monday, I paired sociology and Arabic, and the reason for that is because, well, it's Monday and we don't want to do the hardest thing first. So I went for the second hardest and the second easiest. And on Tuesday I went back and I did the hardest with the easiest. Wednesday we did the third hardest with the third easiest, and then the fourth hardest with the fourth easiest. So that's how I decided to pair them together. And then on Friday, I was like, okay, you know what? You're free to choose whatever you want to work on. And then for Saturday, you can rest. And I'd prefer you do something creative just to get your mind off of it. And you'll realize it's better than, overworking yourself and then having to deal with a burnout. And, trying to get over a burnout can take a lot of time. So you'd honestly do better if you actually take breaks. So the next week I just moved them around, so it's still the same pairs together, but instead of having them, for example, environmental management and math on Thursday, it was on Monday. So it was like that. And yeah, so Saturdays and Sundays can be used as rest days or days to catch up on missed work. Now we have another table here, and this is what I grouped together. So English with economics, so 1 and 1, and so on. Here are the subjects, and okay, and then here's the paper. So you have paper 1, paper 2 for Arabic, and then ICT you have 3 papers, and a quick description of what the papers are about, and then the exam duration. So how long do you have to complete the exam? And this is something you have to get online, which is the exam session, which is, the timing. So is it in the morning? Is it in the afternoon? And yeah, so here's how many papers per week you want to work on. So for Arabic, since it was one of the easiest, I was like, okay, you know what, let's not do more than 2 papers since we don't want to waste too much time on it, but we also don't want to neglect it. So 2 was a reasonable amount. And then here's the total amount of papers you've worked on, so you can just place that in there. So like starting from now until your first exam, how many papers did you work on, right? And you can make it a goal, so you can write, I want to work on 15 papers by the end of this whole study session. So yeah, let's move on. So we have, little stickers here, and then we have July. I was like, okay, so before you start, you have Saturdays and Sundays, which are in blue, indicating the weekends. All right, so before I gave her this schedule, I was like, create notes and mentally prepare to work hard and succeed. And this was about the 15-week mark. So I was like, create a great study environment by reorganizing and decluttering, because your environment does represent your mental state. So make sure that you are having a clear and great place to work at. All right, so that was done. Get all her notes done, because you're not going to be using textbooks in this case. You're not going to be using textbooks anymore, because honestly it is unnecessary. And I've learned that the hard way, because, well, I've done my IGCSEs, I've done my AS levels and my A2s, and I've learned that using textbooks a couple of weeks before the exam isn't always the best thing. And I'll explain why later. So we have the first week, which is week A, and then the following week is week B. You notice these are in lighter colors because it's the next month, which is August. So you can move from July to August between other months, you know, with these buttons up here, or you can click it down here. So let's go to August, and it continues week A, week B, week A, week B, and so on. It's just alternating. Okay, and then we go on to September, and you notice that in October, that's when her exams are going to start. So AM was in pink, so Arabic paper 1 was in the morning on the 5th of October. But anyway, so the final week of September, I was like, use these days to revise and to rest. And at this point, it is not encouraged to go through your textbook, as it may lead to anxiety and stress. Because the more we read, the more we realize that we don't know so much. And that's just going to put you in a really bad loop of anxiety and stress, and you're going to freak out. And soon enough, you're going to forget what you already knew, and you're going to lose confidence. And when you lose confidence, that's when, you know, you're just not going to do as great. You know, that has an effect on your grades and your capabilities. So try not to stress, and you know, by this time you're basically ready. You've done the work, you know you're ready. You just need to believe in yourself, and you're going to do really well. All right, so we'll move on. All right, so wait, what I wanted to say is that when you're doing this, like, right, you're not supposed to be using textbooks, but what you should do instead is when you're going through these past papers, anything that's new that you are unaware of that just didn't show up before on your textbooks, you should write down and make a note of it. And I've done that for the subjects that I've done before, and it's helped me so much. Like for chemistry, for example, I've done like 2 pages of notes, and these were the best notes I've ever written, and these were the notes that I've used right before my exams, and I think these were the most helpful, and I think that would help you too. So the next time you come up, the next time you're faced with a question that's similar to it, you know what to do, because you know it's no longer a surprise for you, because you're exposed to all these different types of questions, and you know it's not going to be as surprising anymore. So you know you can kick some exam bum. Anyway, so let's move on to October. So you have the exam schedule, and then here's the legend. So the AMs are in pink and the PMs are in blue, and of course once you get the timing, you can, you know, write down the timing as well. Anyway, so the days between your exams, simply go over your notes, sleep early, exercise, and eat well. This is not the time to stress or to overwork yourself, because this is the most critical time, and if you're doing these things, you're going to hurt yourself. You want to make sure that you're well rested so you can give these exams your very best. And remember that it's just a piece of paper. You can always redo these exams if you're not happy with your results, and if you are happy with your results, then that's awesome. And just remember that no matter what, you know, you're going to move on. This is not something that's going to define you in any way. Yeah, so these exams just define what you know at that moment, but that does not mean you're going to stop learning, right? Every day we learn something new, and then next year you're going to learn other things, and sooner or later you're going to forget that you've even done these exams, because guess what? You've passed that point of your life a long time ago, and you're going to be like, oh, well, you know, I know so much more now, and you know, what I knew back then does not define what I know now. So never feel too discouraged about it. And that's how you should also feel about report cards. You know, that's something that you knew at that time, and that's just defining what you knew back then. That does not mean that's what you know now. And you know, if it's not as great, you can always be like, okay, so this is what I need to work on and spend more time on so I can improve. And yeah, that's literally how I believe you should be viewing it. And let me know how you guys feel about this. Here's the final day, which is for her November 10th, which is an economics paper 1, and then she's free. She's done. That's it. And that's how it is for you guys. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I hope you found this video helpful, and I'm wishing you the best of luck in your exams. If you do end up using the schedule, let me know in the comment section below, and yeah, peace.